So, we've had the coronavirus pop up in various countries, and many colleges and universities are tackling a very sensitive subject, dealing with study abroad programs and the virus.
Joining us on the KOGO News Live line, the former president of Brandeis University, Frederick Lawrence. And Frederick, should universities be canceling these study abroad programs? We are told that for people who are relatively young and healthy, the coronavirus is not that marked a threat.
I think it's too early to make decisions about canceling programs altogether, but I think universities right now should be and are paying very close attention both to that, how many of those study abroad programs will be in effect this summer, next year. By the way, they're also paying very close attention to how many international students they can expect to have studying with them next year. Increasingly, American universities have students from all over the world, and many of them come from China and Korea, which have the highest number of reported incidents of the virus right now. So I think all of those issues are front and center as universities are planning for the next academic year.
Well, now with those international students, they bring with them tuition. So could this really hurt?
Absolutely. And it hurts in the obvious way that you suggest. But even if it doesn't occur, which is to say, suppose that we get the best possible outcome and this is all over relatively soon, we don't know that right now. So it creates an enormous uncertainty for universities who are in the business of planning their coming academic year right now. February, March is when you do your planning for next academic year. And in many cases, those students are full tuition students. They're terrific students. They add to the university life in so many ways. But I'll tell you from my own experience, we used to stress test our budget in lots of ways. Suppose there's a currency fluctuation. Suppose the number of students goes down a little bit here, up a little bit there. Nobody ever stress tested it going to zero. So what happens if the number of international students goes to zero? That's a real problem.
All right. So let's just be blunt about it. Would you send your child abroad to study abroad right now?
Well, right now, what I would do for a summer program, I would probably say, let's keep our powder dry. Let's not make a decision to the last possible minute. And so the advice I give as a parent is creating headaches for my former colleagues who are university presidents. But I don't think there's any way out of that. I don't think any parent in good conscience right now could just say, sure, let's just go for it and see what happens. You'd have to know that you could make that decision or unmake that decision right up to the last minute.
Some universities have canceled their programs mid-semester. These students, are they kind of in limbo? Do they go back to their home campuses? I mean, what kind of complications does that cause?
This is a great question, because up until now we've all been talking about what happens next year, but your question is about what happens right now. So in many cases, those programs are at least suspended, if not shut down, and that creates an enormous complication, because don't forget, the way universities are run today, they've got those dorms full with the expectation that students will be studying abroad. So on many campuses, there's no place to bring those kids back. So right now, they're doing crisis planning in terms of where do you put them? Do those kids go home, stay with their parents? Do you bring them to campus and find facilities, hotel rooms and the like to put them up? So that's a real practical problem. A more academic problem is, what do you do for their credits for that semester? I mean, after all, they pay tuition for the semester. Can you enroll them in classes in the middle of a semester? Some of this can be solved through distance learning, and there are some programs that even as they're suspended, you're able to do distance learning. But frankly, some universities are much better situated to do that than others.
Former president of Brandeis University, Frederick Lawrence, with us here on the KOGO News Live line. Thank you so much for your time.
Pleasure. Good to be with you.